This feels like pretty appropriate music to introduce a bike gang here on the radio. The Guardians of the Children are here with me in studio. Kevin Hawk Nitz is president of the Edmonton chapter. Kenton Blade Kamenyeki is the treasurer, and Ryan Grimm Nitz is the sergeant at arms. Fellas, welcome to 630 CHED.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
First question that arrived on the text line: are you affiliated with the Hells Angels?
We are not.
Who are you guys?
We're just a group of motorcycle enthusiasts that wanted to get together and help out kids that have been bullied, that have been abused. We have a number of different areas that we work with and options that we can leverage to get the message out there. So,
what options do you leverage, and how do you leverage them? How does this work? What do you guys do?
We are either we get involved with the police, or we wait till the cases come to us. Child Protection Services. We're trying to get in touch with Zebra and hook up with them, and we'll go to court, support the kids in court, support their families. If need be, we'll go sit outside their house 2:00 in the morning. If they're if they're scared and figure somebody's going to come by, we'll go park up in front of their house and babysit a little bit.
You guys on the Harleys?
Yeah.
You have to have a
not all Harleys.
You have to have a Harley, or there's some big Hondas and Yamahas, and
there's some of the others there, but
kind of
we give them a bit of a hard time.
That's universal across the motorcycle community, isn't it? What's the impact of? I mean, first of all, do you bristle when I say bike gang, or you bike gang? What are you? You're a motorcycle club.
An organization.
We're an organization.
You're a motorcycle organization.
Yeah. Yes.
What's the impact of having members of a motorcycle organization parked outside a house at 2 a.m, or wearing the vests with the crests in a courtroom?
A lot of it is just for comfort and support of the abused against the victims, or the accuser, sorry. Just the presence of us being there, it makes them feel a lot more comfortable, and just...
Yeah, we don't mess around. We don't do the vigilante stuff or anything like that. We pretty well stay above the board. But if you get 5 or 6 biker guys kind of hanging out at your place 3:00 in the morning, you're not going to come bang on their door.
Yeah, I mean, it's radio, so sometimes I got to paint pictures. Right? So I'll let people know. You got some impressive beards in studio, some sleeve tattoos, earrings, the vests, the patches. The nicknames alone: Blade, Hawk, Grimm. It works. You get into any staring contests? You get into any stare downs in a courtroom between yourselves and the accused?
I did a couple times, yeah.
Would you tell us about it?
They just kind of walk by. They try and intimidate. I mean, obviously they're there to intimidate the child, and they try to intimidate us also. And you just smile at them, and you don't get involved with them or anything like that. You just kind of walk between them and the child and just smile and nod your head. Be nice, be polite.
But it's the smile that's like, I'll crush your skull with my bare hand kind of a smile, right? It's not like do you want to go grab sandwiches after court? It's I will drive my Harley over your shins if you do so much as stare at this child for 1 second, right? I mean, just so we're on the same page here.
So the implication is that. But like Hawk said, we're definitely not a vigilante group, so we're all about just the support for the kids. And
we'll pick up a phone and dial 911 before it gets too far. But with that being said, if it does escalate, I don't think anybody would back down. Like, you're gonna do what you can to protect the child.
Sure. One of your patches, all 3 of you have it on your vest, Founding 5. Were there 5 founding fathers in the city of Edmonton, this Edmonton chapter?
Yes.
Why did you get involved, Blade?
We got involved. My fiance's son had been bullied a lot in school, and he had purple hair and wore the skinny jeans, and the jock types all started picking on him and giving him a hard time, and so that's really the mandate of what the club is to help those kids and protect them and educate people about bullying and abuse and try and make it better.
On the text line to 630, Sam Crow out of Vegreville says, guys like you make me feel safe for my kids. Thank you for what you do. Another says, I'm smiling so big for your guests. The entire sum of existence is the magic of being needed by just one person. What does that mean to you?
That means a lot. It's just the support of other people around, just hearing that we're standing up and doing a good job. It just makes us all feel great inside. It's all for the kids that we're doing it for, so it's...
This is an extracurricular activity for the three of you.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
You've all got day jobs, or you're retired, or you do whatever you do.
Yeah.
Hawk, how do people reach out to you? How do people recruit your services?
Through either police or child protection services.
So the Edmonton police, in a way, and I guess I don't want to put words in your mouth, so correct me if I'm wrong, but they almost sanction your involvement. They almost condone your activity. You work in partnership with them, is that right?
Not really in partnership, but we, if they were to call us, get a hold of us on the website or anything like that, and we really can't do a whole lot court-wise unless they do get involved.
Have you ever been prevented from entering a courtroom by law enforcement?
No.
So there's no concern that your presence would escalate a situation?
No.
Have you ever been confronted by anyone in a courtroom?
Not in a courtroom. In the hallways of a courtroom.
Tell me about it.
They just kind of want to know what we're doing. He said, a guy come up and said, "You're not intimidating me," and stuff like that. I said, "Well, that's good. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm just here to protect the child." So they walk away after, but they just want you to know that you're not bothering me by being here.
But of course you are. They're not going to come up to you and tell you that you're not bothering them unless you're bothering them.
To make that comment, something's obviously got to be bothering them. So,
are you ever there? You travel in a group? You go by yourselves? How does it work?
No, there's always at least two people with the child at all times. Always two members.
What do kids tell you?
Some of the kids that we took on those rides were just smiling ear to ear. The rides that Steve Enns put together.
Tell me about these.
He got the idea to go out and put the word out that I want to try and do something for the kids that get abused and bullied in school. So he put it out on Facebook and social media that he wants to put together a ride, and if anyone knows of any kids that are being bullied, to contact him. So he did get a contact here a few weeks ago. So far we've done 3 rides. The first one was, I think, 2.5 weeks ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And then we did one just this past Monday where we actually get 2 kids a ride, one to school and one home from school.
Hang on a second. So a kid's being bullied at school, and they call in the guardians of the children, and you guys will come, the Harleys will show up as loud as hell, and they'll pull up to the school, and you'll pick up the kid on the hog.
Exactly. But we're just kind of supporting Steve's initiative. So Steve isn't directly affiliated with us, but we're just supporting his initiative.
So, I mean, pardon the phrase, because I know it's against the intent of what you're doing, but if I call you guns for hire, now you're not packing heat, you're not packing sidearms, unless you are you?
No,
you don't need them. You're there to be assigned. A kid's being bullied on the school ground, or a kid's being bullied at high school, and all of a sudden there's going to be a motorcycle club.
And it boosts the kid's morale, and now all of a sudden he's the cool kid, so that the bullying stops. He's got more friends coming to him, and it's an avalanche thing. And now all of a sudden, like I say, he's the cool kid. He's got friends, and people aren't picking on him anymore. Now he can walk to school by himself, walk home by himself, and he's got no issues. Do
you ever interact with the bullies?
No, we haven't so far.
No, just mainly dealing with the kids themselves that are being bullied.
Is that because the bullies are probably not bullying once the bikes pull up?
Yeah, I think they go pretty silent as soon as they see a bunch of bikes show up and a bunch of guys in vests and rough, tough-looking guys. So I think they go pretty silent quickly. So.
Huh. On the text line, 630, listener here says, "This is Alberta Pete. I salute you guys. Thank you for being there for the kids." Listen to this. Grant says, "I ride my Harley to take my mind off the issues of my own abuse. As a child," he says, "now at 55 years of age, I wish I could help all the kids. Maybe I can." Grant says, "I'd like to know how I can become a part of this. Even as an adult, I'm still scared." Says maybe these guys could even come with me to court. Wow. Okay. In September. I'm clicking on Grant's text history. I'm sure he won't mind me mentioning this. He was in touch with the show yesterday to let me know and to let our listeners know that he was sexually assaulted by a sibling growing up, and as an adult he's just recently had the courage to press charges, and he'll be heading to court in September. Wow. And here he is again in touch with the show today, letting us know that he rides his Harley to take his mind off the abuse. It sounds to me like maybe you guys might have room in your club for Grant.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
How do people get involved with you?
We have our monthly meetings the first Thursday of every month. That's held at the Borden Park facility. There's a bit of an office space and open area up above the change rooms and stuff at the tennis courts at Borden Park, and that's where we meet. And we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have our website.
People can check out gocedmonton.ca. It's the Guardians of the Children, gocedmonton.ca. What goes on at the meetings?
The meetings is where we throw out all the ideas of doing fundraisers to raise cash for, because when we adopt a kid into the organization, we give them a cut with the patches and everything on it. So we supply that, so we pay for that, and that's all through donated funds. We also have a little Guardians program where we do buddy benches for schools and communities and stuff, where we'll put a bench out there that says "Be a buddy, not a bully." So anytime a child sits on those benches, then the school teachers know that, this child needs to talk to somebody. So
yeah, it encourages togetherness, and so you're not sitting alone. Somebody will come sit beside you and talk with you and stuff like that, and find out what, become your buddy type of thing.
Were any of you guys bullied as kids?
I wasn't bullied, no. I was one of the small kids at school, but
I didn't have a lot of friends. I guess maybe a little bit here and there, but nothing too major.
Did your childhood experience, in a way, influence your decision to become involved with this group?
Not so much my childhood experience. I'd more, being a single father with my son, he's 8 now, some of the experiences he's gone through, I wish upon no child. So that's really kind of pushed me to get involved and help make a change in as many children's lives as we can.
And let's face it, bullying now is more prevalent, and there's more focus on it, and you can't get away from it with the social media aspect of the culture now. So back in the day when we were kids, there was no social media, so if you were bullied at school, like one of our members was bullied at school all the time, and when she knew when she got home she was safe from that bullying, and that was her safe place. Kids nowadays don't have that because of social media.
Hang tight, because there's more questions coming in from listeners. Some of them just sort of intrigued by what you do. Others wanting to know how they can get involved, or do you hold fundraisers? So we'll get to this break for the headlines, and we'll be back with Blade and Hawk and Grimm. They're members of Guardians of the Children, the Edmonton chapter. You can check out gocedmonton.ca. I'm hanging out in studio with 3 big bikers, Hawk, Blade, and Grimm. Read the patches on their right side, the patches on the left. Guardians of the Children. Listener says, please thank these badass bikers in studio right now, as well as extend thanks for everybody that's doing what they do. You guys aren't the only motorcycle enthusiasts that do this type of thing. Stick up for the marginalized, the disenfranchised, the bullied. But you have a different MO than some of them. I won't name names, but I know that some clubs will resort to tactics that would probably qualify, if we're going to call a spade, as bullying. They're in the gray areas of what law enforcement would say is the green or red light, behavior-wise. Do you have a stigma problem? Do you use opportunities like this to explain your mandate so people don't get the wrong idea about how you operate, Blade?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's already a stigma with bikers in general, right? So we're not gang members, we're not thugs, we're just people who happen to ride Harleys. And we just need to get the message out there that we're here for the kids and the kids only. So
Craig says, I've got a couple of buddies in Los Angeles that ride with a group like this. They get incredibly emotional when they talk about helping a kid or scaring off a scumbag. Craig says, I'm very proud of these folks. Yeah, this must be very personal for you.
It is. It's nice. You get that, your chest puffs out a little bit when you see that little kid smile at you, and they come up and give you a hug and stuff like that. And and then you go, this is why I do it. Just to see that little child that was so scared come to you and hug you and smile and, say thanks.
Grimm, you're the Sergeant at Arms of Guardians of the Children. I understand your little man, your son, is Sergeant at Arms of the Little Guardians program. And I can see in your face right now that you're very proud of this and proud of him. What's the Little Guardians program all about?
It's all for the little, the kids. They set up their own little chapter. They take care of the buddy benches that we're going to be putting up. Also, eventually, we'll be looking at getting into some schools to try to do some presentations and let the kids know as well. Try to get the Little Guardians also with us to kind of relate with the other kids a little bit better.
So you can put the recruiting out to kids as well. I mean, it sounds to me like this could be a family affair.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're actually, Grimm is my son, and Peanut is his son. So we're actually like a 3-generation thing going on already with the Guardians here.
What does that mean to you, Hawk?
Very proud. It means a lot.
You look like you're going to break your face. Your smile's so big right now.
Sometimes, yeah.
So there's 70 chapters of Guardians of the Children across North America. Edmonton is one of them. You just formed in March. You started sewing the patches on in March. You got 22 members already.
Yeah, we got the patches in April 22nd. We had patching with Red Deer. So we formed the 2 chapters in Alberta.
Was that a pretty special ceremony?
It was.
Nice.
It was.
What does it mean to put the vest on?
There's a huge sense of pride. The feeling you get when you see the smile on those kids' face that you help. Those rides that we went on the last couple of weeks here with Steve N's group there, it just makes you just feel so proud and so happy and also sad too that we have to be there because there's this issue.
No kidding. On the text line, listener wonders, are the kids ever actually scared of you guys? A bunch of big bikers showing up.
When we give the first little guy a ride in Beaumont there, he was very nervous, and he was in fact so nervous that he ended up throwing up on Steve's boots. And but once I got done with, it was great. He got on the back of that bike, and by the time we got him to school, he was smiling ear to ear, and he was giving us fist pounds as he went into the school, and it was great.
This was one of the kids that was being bullied.
Yes.
And then we got the stickers and little tattoos that they wear also. So they've got little JOC stickers on them or little tattoos on them, and they like that.
Catherine says, I've loved a lot of the guests that you've had on the show. These guys, though, might be my favorite. You can hear the emotion coming through the radio.
Oh, wow. That's huge. Thanks.
Hilltop says, these guys are amazing. People these days are scared to stand up to bullies. They're certainly scared to intervene because they're afraid of being charged with an offense, just like the dad in Jasper who confronted his kid's bully. I'm not sure if you guys heard that story. We had him here on the show. Hilltop says, but you guys are doing it in a way that makes sense. Every time I see or hear about bullying, it breaks my heart. So I want to say thanks. Big D says, please thank these great men for protecting these kids. Can bullying ever be eradicated, or is it just part of growing up? Is it part of life?
I think it's a part of life. It happened when I was in school. There were kids that were bullied and teased, but like I said, now with social media, it's just on a whole different level. So,
listeners wondering if you got to get criminal record checks.
We absolutely do. Criminal record checks with the vulnerable sector.
Okay, so if somebody wants to join, that's what they'll have to go through?
Yep. Yes, there's an application process they have to do, and they have to prospect for so long. They have to show their commitment, do the criminal record check, do the vulnerable sector check.
Okay.
So there's a lot to it to get
There's
involved.
Some online training, too, that we have to do. It's called Commit to Kids. So it teaches you all about abuse and how to recognize it and the signs to look for, and that's something that we're going to be teaching others going forward. So,
but it's well worth it.
Absolutely.
Listener says a group of these guys was gathered at Tim Hortons One came up and gave my kids some stickers, and I could see their interpretation of big, mean bikers change instantly.
We're all teddy bears at heart.
Yeah, well, don't tell that to the... Yeah. You've got a ride going on Sunday.
We do.
Tell me about it.
It's called the Empower the Children ride. We're leaving at Borden Park, going out to Highway 37 out towards Onaway, Alberta Beach, down to Genesee, come back in through Thorsby, Sunnybrook, Millet, and back into Borden Park. And after the ride, we're going to have a barbecue, silent auction, just to get together. Hopefully get a bunch of bikes out and people come out and look at the bikes and bid on stuff for the silent auction. It's $25 to register. And that would include a ride patch. And you register between 8 and 10. Kickstand's up at 10:30. And we've got a heck of a road captain that's got a route planned out. We're going to go for a good ride.
I want to hear all those motors fire up.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be good. So there's nothing like that, hey?
A big rumble.
Yeah. I like it. Some of the vehicles I like to hit the highway with are nice, slow cruisers. Cars I'm talking about. And there's nothing better than being passed by just a crew, just opening it up. You guys are always in a lower gear than you need to be. You know that. You got to make a little noise, right? Loud pipes save lives in the whole 9 yards.
Got to keep the RPMs up.
You got to keep the RPMs up, and that's going to be the case.
Actually, I'd also like to mention all the money we make from the Empower the Children ride stays in the chapter and goes directly towards helping more of the kids.
Okay, so people can check out, I'm looking at it right now, gocedmonton.ca. Right, we're talking to the guardians of the children here, gocedmonton.ca. The Empower the Children event goes this Sunday, June 11th, at Borden Park. It's right along 11th Avenue there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful spot. Yeah. And that's where the ride goes. You said kickstands up at 10:30.
Yeah. Big parking lot, so let's fill it up.
Hawk, Blade, and Grimm. I'm going to make a call on the fly here, prompted by a few listeners. I'm not sure if you know, but this show is 2 years and 6 months and 1 week old. And in that time, I have given away 2 coffee mugs, 2 Ryan Jesperson Show coffee mugs, just 2, to guests, both of them callers, that really impressed me and really impressed our listening audience, our family, our community, CHED Nation. I've only got 3 left. And if you have saddlebags, I'd like to send you each home with a mug if you would accept.
Absolutely. I would be honored to have that.
I'm proud to be, in just a small way, a partner in whatever you're doing, and anytime you guys need a voice on the radio, you know where to come.
Awesome. Sounds
Appreciate
great.
that.
GOCEdmonton.ca. My thanks to Hawk, Blade, and Grimm.